want your name for the media, please?
Sure. Which one? Which media?
Well, yourself and Adrian.
Oh. Anyway, I'd like to thank you all for your time, and I'm before you guys today asking for a letter of support. I'm working with a private investor out of Denver on a project to renovate and repurpose the Crosswhite building at 205 North Main in Rocky Ford. The investor purchased the property before the pandemic hit, and then did a lot of demolition work and stuff like that. Then the pandemic hit and the project came to a halt. Now he wants to get the project started again. He has $100,000 worth of matching funds, and I went to Otero and talked to them about the possibility of doing a downtown redevelopment grant. And I met with SCED and Otero and the Colorado Creative Industries on Thursday afternoon, presented the project to them, and they were all for us putting in an application for the grant. So I'm here now. Basically what we've done is taken a building that's been vacant for 20 years. They've gutted it, did all the structural work to bring it back to where it's not gonna collapse or anything. The whole thing is completely, well, it's ready for a build out is what it is. It's completely stripped out and ready to go. He's put new windows in and a new roof on, and we're ready to start the interior of the building. So I'll be meeting with SCED again tomorrow morning and presenting the same letter of support to the City of Rocky Ford City Council tomorrow night. And I've already presented it to SCED for their support. And so it's an opportunity for us to create something new in downtown Rocky Ford. The downstairs is looking to be an art gallery with an art studio behind it. And then there's 3 one-bedroom apartments on the second floor that have been vacant forever. And so it gives us an opportunity to get 3 cost-controlled, rent-controlled, one-bedroom apartments for residents in downtown Rocky Ford, as well as creating a new entertainment-type venue for the city. So the grant is for $100,000.
Very good. Sounds like a really neat process you got going there.
Yep. It's kind of unique because, you know, when I first talked to people about this grant, they said, well, they more than likely will not fund a private investor.
Mm-hmm.
And this particular grant didn't have a problem with funding a private investor to half the cost of the project. So we're in pretty good shape with the grant, looks like. So.
Cool project. So what are they gonna have, like seating in there and?
No, it'll be more like a walkthrough where people, local artists and stuff can show their work and possibly market it and things like that.
Okay.
And then it'll have, the plan is to have an art studio in the back, whether it's a live-in studio where individual artists can actually live on the property and use the art studio, or if it's gonna be a community property where any local artist can go in and use that facility. Hasn't been decided yet, so.
Cool. Any questions?
Awesome.
I'm behind the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I was able to meet with this gentleman several times before he actually renovated the building. And he is very motivated to work in southeastern Colorado and specifically Rocky Ford. He has a passion for that. His dollars are his own. And I think that alone tells us that our area is still available to people to come in and take old buildings like the Crosswhite building and do something with it. They used a local contractor to go in and shore up the floor. And the first time I was in the building, the birds were still in it. I was afraid of the floor to fall through, but the local contractor came in, did a fabulous job on the apartments upstairs. And we know if you've spent any time with Marty or anybody in Rocky Ford, they need housing and they need regular types of housing, attainable housing. So these apartments will be able to do that for families. I think they're all one bedrooms, or there's one.
There's 3 they're all
All one bedrooms now. And so that's a great addition to downtown Rocky Ford. So I'm glad you two found an avenue to help him get that done.
And to go along with that, they're gonna be rent controlled. That was part of the agreement I made with Mike Block about, I'm gonna help you get this grant, but what's in it for the city of Rocky Ford? It's gonna allow us to rent control those apartments for 3 to 5 years. So it'll bring in tax revenue, both property tax and sales tax revenue, and we'll have, the cheapest one-bedroom apartment you can get in Rocky Ford right now is rented for about $750 a month.
Wow.
We're gonna rent these probably for more like $500 a month.
And you said they're all one bedrooms?
They're all one bedrooms.
They're all the same size?
No, actually, they're a little bit different. There's a little bit of nuances between the 3 apartments. The one in the front of the building is the largest one, and the one in the back of the building is the most open one. And then there's one in the middle that's a little bit smaller than the other 2, so, but that's where we're at.
I might ask Marty, you mentioned a studio in the back, apartments upstairs, and then an entertainment.
A gallery.
You got a gallery?
Yeah.
Okay. I was curious what your entertainment.
It's gonna be a
idea was.
gallery.
Okay.
All right,
Cool. Any other questions?
Nope.
can I give this to you all for signatures?
Yep. Hearing none, I would entertain a motion.
I move to approve a letter of support for Marty Lee and the Rocky Ford Economic and Community Development Coordinator.
And I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And don't get used to me wearing long pants and shoes.